Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from second groups. We'll explain our review. And the title of our review is Strategies of Successful English Language Learner. A case study of one EVA learners with unfortunate condition at SMA Negeri 1 Boyolali by Cynthia Ayu Purnomo. And the member of our group is Asmawi, Muhammad Nanang Kosim, Anisatul Farida, Ruli Cahyo, Mutia Rinjani, and last Perdana Dia Sapitri. Okay, next problem questions. First, what are the problems faced by successful EVA learners with unfortunate condition? Second, what are the strategies used by the learners? Theory. First, theories of language learning strategies. Two important things that must be considered in the process of learning are what to use for learning and how to use it. Harden. Second, theories of successful EVA learners. Maynard, in her article How to Become a Successful Language Learner, states, success is learning a language depends on the learners. The greatest factor in their success is how much effort they prepare to put in and how effectively they can learn to direct the effort. B. Characteristic of successful EVA learners. As Harden has stated before that the use of proper strategies for language learning plays a very effective role in the learning process. Learners should know the strategies which are effective for them because it is needed to achieve successful learning. For this reason, knowing the characteristic of successful EVA learners is also crucial as it can result in successful acquisitions. Second, Oxford in Harden adds, good language learners combat inhibitions by using positive self-talk, by extensive use of practicing in private, and by putting themselves in situations where they have to participate communicatively. Data collecting technique. First, in-depth interview. The interviews with the learners are mainly about her strategies in learning English. Meanwhile, the interview with the teachers, learners, close friends, and parents are mainly about the learner's learning behavior. Second, observation. The researcher periodically goes to the classroom and occasionally to the learner's house in order to observe her problem in learning English and strategies in solving the problems. And the third, document analysis. It is done through analyzing the learner's school report, especially on the scores of the English lesson and award from English contest she has ever got. Trustworthiness. 1. Triangulation. The learner's teachers, close friends, and parents are asked about the learner's problem and strategies in learning English they may know. It is intended to seek evidence about the learner's English language learning problem and strategies from what the learners and other interviewees have reported. Second, member checking. It is intended to reach an agreement on the classification of English language learning strategies used by the learners into some types of strategies organized by Oxford. Data analysis technique. The technique of data analysis used in this research include data reduction, data display, conclusion drawing, and verification. First, data reduction. The interview transcript of the learner's teacher, close friends, and parents are analyzed in the same way. The data obtained from the learners, her teacher, close friend, and parents are separately analyzed. Second, data display. Data display was done based on the table description of data reduction. And the last, conclusion drawing and verification. These techniques are chosen in order to get data that may be able to give other strong evidence, changing the tentative conclusion drawn. Okay, we will continue explain the second review, and the title is English Learning Strategy of Good Achiever, a case study at SMA Negeri 4 Surakarta in academic year 2015-2016 by Anggraini Wulan Prasasti. First, problem questions. First, what learning strategies do good achiever use in learning English at SMA Negeri 1 Surakarta in academic years 2015 and 2016? Second, to what extent are good achievers aware of the benefit of English learning strategies? Theory. A. Review on language learning strategies. Theories of language learning strategies, O'Malley and Kenneth. They state that learning strategies are any action taken by individuals to help them understand, learn, and comprehend new information. This theory is also supported by Richard Platt, 2012-63. The learning strategies are taught and behavior that learners intentionally during learning process in order to help them to remember. So, learning strategies have function theories to help individuals to understand, learn, talk about some new information. Second, classification of language learning strategies. Oxford. There are two big types of language learning strategies, direct and indirect, which are further categorized into 6 groups. Direct have 3 groups. There are memory strategies, cognitive strategies, compensation strategies. Indirect also have 3 groups. There are metacognitive strategies, affective strategies, and social strategies. 3. Factors influencing the choice of second language strategies. Oxford claimed that there are many factors affecting the choice of language learning strategies. These factors are degree of awareness, stage of learning, text requirements, teacher expectation, age, sex, nationality, motivation level. B. Characteristic of good learners. E-able learners. First, good learners. Fenner state that good language learners are self-reliant, ready to work independently and take charge of developing aspects of their own learning. Second, language learning achievement. Brown claims that learning strategies can be the indicators which affect student achievement. Data collecting technique. Document used in this research were students' school report and student score transcript, which inform good achiever scores and would be used to analyze their learning achievement. Interview. The researcher asks the good achiever about their English language strategies, learning motivation, and learning achievement. In relation with the question directed to the good achiever, the researcher also asked their friends and the teacher to get more understanding and information about their characteristics when they join the class and how they perform in the class. Observation. The researcher conduct the observation in order to know good achiever performance, participations, and strategies during their activity in the class. The observation was done in the class 9 MEA 1-7 at SMA 4 Surakarta. Data analysis technique. The researcher used the theory of Miles and Haberman to analyze the data. Data collection. The researcher collected the data by conducting observation, interview, and document. Data reduction. The researcher used the information from the field notes, interview transcript to get a good achievers learning strategies and motivational background, and then use the document to get a view about good achiever learning English learning achievement. Data display. Data display was done based on the table description of data reduction. Trustworthiness. Triangulation. First, observe the good achiever. Second, ask the good achiever. Third, the researcher did another classroom observation. And lastly, the researcher asked the good achiever interview questions and asked for the confirmation related to the observation and their friends or teacher interview and analyzed the document. Member checking. In this process, the researcher asked the good achiever, their friends, the teacher for their confirmation about the report written. It aimed to check that the findings were accurate, fair, and representative based on the fact. Okay, I think enough for the second review. And the last is explanation of analyzing the data from qualitative proposal. Analyzing the data. The data were analyzed by using interactive mode proposed by Miles and Haberman to analyze other data. There are three main components to be understood by the qualitative researcher. Moreover, the process of analyzing data was described by Miles and Haberman in the following picture. Data collection, to data display, and then data reduction, and conclusion drawing and verifying. First, data reduction. The researcher is using document to collect the data. The document is students' assignment to produce in the middle test. The researcher collects the students' assignment to make argumentative essay that they produce to fulfill the requirement of middle test in the second semester. The researcher was collect the data from one class. It is A class. From the class, the researcher got 30 essays, and the data were used to answering the research questions of this study. Besides that, the researcher also do observation. This observation focus on the teaching and learning activity in the class. Second, data display. After reducing the data into the most substance, then the data was displayed. The researcher has identified the student's error and has calculated the number of each error. The researcher draws up the result of calculation into table and converting them into percentage. Then, researcher makes a pie chart based on the result. The data from students' argumentative writing showed that there was different types of error occurring in the paragraphs they wrote. The total number of percentage of each type are figured as follows. Verb tense, singular and plural, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, article, word order, and the total error and percentage, you can see it in the screen. The percentage of the recapitulation of students' error are converted into a pie chart. The pie chart converts the highest until the lowest rank as follows. The classification of error. Word order, 7 words. First, verb tense is 31%. Second, singular and plural, 11%. 3. Spelling, 9%. 4. Punctuation, 12%. 5. Capitalization, 15%. 6. Article 8%. And the last, word order 14%. Conclusion. After the researcher displaying data, the research could be concluded. In taking conclusion, the initial conclusion was taken from the displayed data. After that, the researcher interprets the data after processing the results. Based on the table above, it can be inferred that verb tense is the highest among the types, reaching 20 items of error or 31.76%. On the other hand, the number of error in singular and plural is 7 items of error or 10.76%. And spelling is 6 items of errors or 9.23%. Punctuation is 8 items of error or 12.30%. Capitalization is 10 items of error or 15.38%. Article is 5 items of error or 7.69%. And word order is 9 items of error or 13.35%. So it can be inferred verb tense is the most error made by the students on argumentative writing. Okay, I think enough from us. Thanks for your attention. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.